South Africa's request to the United Arab Emirates to extradite the Gupta brothers has been denied on a technicality. That's according to Justice and Correctional Services Minister Ronald Lamola. The Justice Department will appeal the decision. The National Director of Public Prosecutions, Advocate Shamila Batoy, and the Justice Department DG joined the minister in making the announcement at the briefing. The search is still currently on the way for convicted escapee Thabo Bester. Our senior reporter, Slindelo Masikane, has been tracking both of these developments, and she joins us now live. Slee, I think many are shocked at the fact that South Africa's attempts to extradite the Gupta brothers, who have been heavily implicated in state capture here in South Africa, has been denied. Perhaps just let us know why this was denied. The minister did say it was based on a technicality.
Yeah, so that's the information we have right now in terms of a note that was given to the department from the UAE saying that the application for the extradition request had essentially been successful. Now, this entire process began last year around February 2022 when Interpol issued red notices for the Gupta brothers. Subsequent to that, we saw South Africa then delivering an extradition request in July of 2022. Then 9 months later, we're told by the department that there's been a back and forth in terms of trying to get updates with regards to what is happening with the extradition request. Subsequent to that, it seems that in February 2023, a court hearing took place without any representative of South Africa in that hearing, where essentially that extradition request was unsuccessful. It was denied, and the department says that they're shocked because there is, of course, a treaty between the two countries, and essentially it seems that the UAE has not honored its end of the deal when it comes to that extradition treaty, honoring the agreements in it. And so the department says that it plans to appeal this decision and also find out the reasons as to why South Africa was not afforded the opportunity to be part of that court hearing. Let's take a listen.
We intend that the letter of the treaty must be complied with, because we believe our request complied with the extradition treaty and the agreement. Hence, we deployed our central authority and allowed the NPA to travel to the UAE to ensure that the request is in compliance with the extradition treaty. And both authorities and the prosecuting authorities exchanged notes and satisfied themselves that the request that was finally submitted to the central authority in the UAE complies with the treaty. So our expectation is that it must be complied with by the UAE, because we indeed complied with the agreement. So that is what we expect should happen. And it is for that reason that I quoted Article 17, that there is no place to hide, even if the authorities may want to say we did not comply. Article 17 clearly states that if there is a technical issue, it cannot be used as a basis to refuse an extradition request.
Slee, the National Prosecuting Authority was also in this briefing, and they, of course, are trying to engage further with the UAE authorities to understand better why their extradition request was denied. They have indicated that they will be appealing.
Yes, there is a decision to appeal, and what essentially this briefing was supposed to tell South Africans, I think, in essence, was that the department was unaware that the court hearing had taken place without South African representatives being there, and that they want to find out more from the UAE as to why this occurred, and they are also collaborating, of course, with the National Prosecuting Authority that has been spearheading prosecutions actions against those accused of playing a part in state capture in this country. And of course, quite critical to that is, of course, bringing the Gupta brothers back to face the law here in South Africa. So Shamila Batohi essentially saying that they were undeterred by this decision and that they were going to ensure and do everything that they can to bring the Gupta brothers back. Let's take a listen.
In order for us to successfully prosecute state capture and other high-level corruption cases, we need accused persons, those that are outside of the Republic, to be arrested. We need cooperation from other countries to ensure that these persons are arrested and extradited to South Africa so that they can face trial. So depending now on, the appeal process, there was a question around that, it's not the Minister or South Africa that appeals this process. We can only engage with UAE authorities because that is the nature of extradition proceedings, is that we are completely, so to speak, at the mercy of the state concerned, in this case, the UAE, to ensure that they do all things possible to assist the requesting state, to ensure that the relevant legal processes are followed through with the necessary conviction and support to the requesting country. So that's all we can do. And this applies to any other country. So if there's the Interpol, they can still be arrested in other countries. And so we will engage with colleagues in Interpol.
And Slee, of course, you took an opportunity to ask the Justice Minister around any updates on the Bester matter. Of course, not much detail was given, but what did the Minister have to say about this?
Essentially, my questions were ignored. I was taking a chance there really to try and get any information that we can in terms of investigations. But essentially what the Minister said was that MPs would be updated in Parliament in terms of the Justice and Correctional Services Portfolio Committee, only saying that investigations were continuing and that, some headways, as we've heard from the Police Minister in particular, has been made. We're told that a breakthrough is imminent. Let's take a listen.
With regards to the one of Thabo Bester, I think Crispin has outlined. We are going to go back to the Portfolio Committee and we will further give any further update that is necessary, except to confirm that indeed there is work by the South African police and also by correctional services to recapture him. And all the people of interest are being looked at. And at the right time, I believe the police will be able to give an update.
Yes, essentially your questions were ignored, Slee, but we trust you to inform the country on what's going on with Thabo Bester. That was our senior reporter, Slindelo Masikane, updating us on the latest briefing by the Justice Department. Now,